Welcome to the Sheffield United Way. My name is Hal. Let's talk about Oliver Antman. Antman. This is a great name. Oliver Antman is 23. He'll be 24 in August, if he's not careful. Specifically the 15th of August. Now, he was born in 2001, which just sounds ridiculous. I always think anyone born after sort of 82 is madness. He's 6'1" and he hails from a place called Vantaa in Finland. Currently contracted to 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗕. He's a winger, a right winger. He's plying his trade in the Dutch top flight, the Eredivisie, a full Finland international with, at time of recording, 22 caps and 7 goals. So this is a serious player. Now, I mentioned he's a right winger. He's right-footed. Now, that's predominantly a right winger. In his career, if we break it down, he has played 66 times as a right winger, scoring 10 goals, 15 assists. He's played as a central midfielder 30 times with 1 goal. Now, he has played on the left 21 times, scoring 5 and assisting 3. Even in his youth days, and this does include youth data, he played as a striker 18 times with 5 goals. So versatility, but all in that attacking third. Antman played for a variety of Finnish clubs at youth level before moving to Denmark. That was back in 2018. He got his official debut for the team that he joined. I'm going to try and pronounce this correctly. FC 𝗬𝗏𝗏 on the 30th of March 2019, the first game of a new manager's reign. And Antman started on the bench, came off, replaced actually Mohamed Kudus, now at Tottenham. So I thought that was interesting to mention there. On transfer deadline day, 31st of January 2023, Antman joined Eredivisie side FC Groningen. That was on loan. And he scored in his debut as well for Groningen. Didn't go back after that loan spell until he would join 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗕. They obviously saw enough during his loan spell with Groningen in the Eredivisie to sign him permanently. That was on the 13th of August 2024, a 3-year contract with an option for another year. Now, on the 15th of December, he scored his first goal for 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗕 in the Eredivisie in a 3-3 away draw against Utrecht, providing also an assist for the team's third goal. Now, after having totaled a goal and 8 assists in 9 consecutive games, he was named in the Eredivisie Team of the Week back in January of 2025. And on the 21st of April, he won the cup with 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗕. They beat AZ Alkmaar in the final. They won their first ever cup title. This was massively against the odds. They had a real fairy tale season. And later, Antman was included in the Eredivisie Team of the Season in the position of right wing. Oliver, to say this would be a statement signing, bringing in Antman, I think it would be an understatement. It would be a big statement, a statement of intent, and financially a big outlay. See, I didn't see statement, didn't say it again, apart from just then and then. But Oliver Antman scored 6 goals and picked up 15 assists in the Eredivisie last season. Here's a line from the writer Dan Owen at the website EFLanalysis.com. Oliver Antman's sudden emergence as one of the greatest creative forces in European football is incredible. No player in the Dutch Eredivisie produced more assists during the 2024-25 campaign. Across all competitions, the winger was a superhero because of his surname, and announced himself as a one-man marvel while setting up no fewer than 17 goals for his grateful 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗕 teammates. End quote. Now, that's exciting stuff. I sort of avoided doing too many Marvel references, even though, of course, I could lean into our new ownership. Antman represented Danish outfit FC 𝗬𝗏𝗏, as I mentioned, before joining Eredivisie side 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗕, and that was in a £1 million deal last summer. So to be talking about all these numbers after just 1 year with 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗕, I think is really, really impressive. But there's another way of looking at it, that it is just one really good season. In fact, it's such a good season that I got this quote from his head coach at 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗕, Paul Simonis, who told Football International, "It often looks so simple with him, but everything works. He's really very good. Oliver proves it every week and is already putting on such numbers. He is the assist king of the Eredivisie, and that, with all due respect, it is a club like Go Ahead Eagles, and it's not at a club like PSV. He also scores easily. Oliver, at a top club? I can see that. End quote. Could Sheffield United be that top club? Now, I mentioned he's a full Finnish international. That came after Antman had played matches in the Finnish under 18, under 19, and he did very well at under 21 level. Now, he's only picked up 5 yellows in his entire career, never been sent off. So I know it's an early career, it's a young career, but disciplined. He's had a few injuries in his short time. A groin injury was pretty bad. He had a very bad muscle injury that kept him out of action for 111 days back in the tail end of 2023. He's a player that creates chances. He attempts shots. He can score goals, as we've established. He's not an aerial threat, despite his height, 6'1", and he's not one for the defensive side of the game, but he is all action in and supporting the attack. His full Eredivisie stats from last season in that attacking sense: 6 goals, 15 assists. That was in only 28 matches that he actually started. He was involved in 32, so he came on. So 2,420 minutes played. Now, the expected goals of 6.99 XG, had an XG on target of 6.76, a non-penalty XG of 6.99, had 54 shots, 17 on target, 15 assists, expected assists only 6.5, 645 successful passes with a passing accuracy, therefore, of 83.5%. Accurate long balls, 19, a long ball accuracy of 65.5%, and he created 50 chances. Interestingly, when I looked at the stats, his crossing accuracy was quite low, but of course, that doesn't mean he's not putting good balls into the box. It might just be that defenders are getting their bonces on the end of them, or he wasn't playing with great strikers. Touches 1,220, and 131 of those in the opposition box. And as I mentioned, a weaker side of his game, aerial duels, only 2 of them won. 15.4% aerial duels won. Very, very low. His preferred squad number is number 19. Sorry, Jack Robinson, although I'll let Oliver wrestle him for that rather than me. But don't worry, he actually wears 7 for Finland, so there is that option. Watching, well, is that option? Who's got number 7 now? I remember. Watching matches and looking at clips, he likes to keep the ball close to his feet, low to the ground, and move quickly with it down that right. He's got a great first touch, and he likes to jink, he likes to move and cause backpedaling defenders absolute nightmares. He works the shots well. He creates space for himself. He has a powerful shot on him. And I think it's worth mentioning again, quick feet, because he is so exciting to watch. He's really good at getting out of trouble. He is right-footed, but he can use his left and has created, even scored with his left, but he prefers his right foot. Even when he cuts inside from that right-hand side, which he does do, he's not always looking to go to the byline. He'll happily bring it into the middle of the park. He's no slouch. He can really draw a foul. He's got a few tricks in his locker too. When he does go to the byline, he's fond of a low, accurate cross rather than a floated cross, although he can do that. When he does lift a cross, it tends to be with a target in mind, someone at the back stick. Now, he may be prone to being attacked, and by that I mean a frustrated fullback could foul him again and again due to his agility. The fact that he's going to take people on over and over again might make 1 or 2 of them look a bit silly, but he seems to be naturally extremely fit. Only a couple of serious injuries, and I say serious. Anything over 100 days, I consider like, oh, that's something that's not great in a short season. Determined, yes. Great technique, yes. These are all getting big ticks. He's clearly the best player at Go Ahead Eagles. He does still have some weaknesses. So then, defensively, he's not much use. In the air, he's not great. His positioning could improve. He can keep hold of the ball in some of the matches I watch for just a little bit too long. Now, I haven't seen enough evidence to know if he's any good at set pieces or not. Some of his decision-making that I've seen will get found out in the Championship fairly quickly. He can overdo his go-to tricks, like his drop of the shoulder, his pullback, his back heel. There's moments I've seen where he's been a bit selfish, and many more where I've seen he's been far from it. But I think all creatives have that moment or two where they want the glory. I would like to see more of him on the left. Every time I've seen him there, I've liked the end result. And I don't mean starting on the left. There was games and clips that I've seen where he floats across that kind of midfield, or sometimes I could imagine him working with Blades kind of front 3. Maybe Barry moves over to the right, he moves over to the left, so there isn't a gap those holes will be filled. 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗵𝗹 on Twitter says, his final ball seems really good, slightly Fellows-esque with his ability to cross. Close control dribbling is also strong. He can shift the ball between his feet really well. Also appears to be able to shoot and cross off both feet, which is a positive. Statistically, looks decent at shooting, gets a lot in the corners from the shot graph, and on either side of the goal shows variation. He had a lot more assists than what was expected, but even then, 0.24 assists per 90, very high. Good chance creator, appears to retain possession well, being rarely dispossessed. Doesn't have much defensive output, so would need to watch him for that because it's so important in 𝗍𝗫's system. Slightly concerning that last season was his first season getting above 10 goals and assists. End quote. Thank you, 𝗣𝗿𝗵𝗹𝗹. Give him a follow. Now, there have been a number of teams linked with Antman, big ones. He's hot property. As a player with speed of thought will always be. He has stated he's happy to stay in the Netherlands, but the rumours around United's interest simply won't go away. I have spoken about him a number of times on this channel, and now we have a bit of cash. I've genuinely no idea how much money this ownership team actually has, but now with 𝗣𝗍𝗲𝗍 and the sale that he's had to the German side, Wolfsburg, that might mean we have a little bit more to play with, and maybe this is where we would like to invest it. What do you make of this, Blades fans? Oliver Antman could be very exciting. Let me know.